broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Go Fury.
National anthem complete. We are just about ready for kickoff. It's grand final day. It's game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. The San Diego Sockers, the Ontario Fury. The Sockers in the catbird seat in this best-of-3 series. They need one win today to lift the Ron Newman Cup in any game played. The Fury have a different task. They must win 2 games today. They must win game 2. That would force a 15-minute game 3 that would be up for grabs. I'm Craig Elston, joined by Christian Philly Filliman and Jonathan Reimer on the booth. And now we're going to go down to our 2 sideline reporters. We've got reports on both clubs today. The Fury in their Inland Empire home. The Sockers, who have made the 2-hour trip up I-15. We'll get things started with Amanda Panda Filliman reporting on the Ontario Fury.
Tonight's matchup is a must-win for your Ontario Fury. There is a lot of emotion coming into tonight's matchup, but these boys are ready to leave it all out on the pitch. I talked to a few of them earlier, and boy, are they fired up. We're all anxious to see who's going to step up and fill some of those roster spots tonight, but if there's one thing we know about the Fury is that they have depth. So no doubt that we're going to make this match a competitive one tonight, and hopefully one for the history books, as we are about to set the stage for game 2 of your MASL Ron Newman Cup Final. It's going to be an exciting one. Stick around. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Appreciate it. And as mentioned, we do have a report from both benches as the 2 teams get ready to play. Quickly, let's get down to Melissa May with the Sockers.
Greg, I had the opportunity to talk with some of the Sockers players after Friday night's game, and everyone was excited. But every single one of them also said that the job isn't done. Just like every season, the Sockers instill a winning mentality. And today in the locker room, it was no different. Everyone was laser focused on one thing, winning. Some notable Sockers alum reached out to some of the players before today's game, including Brian Quinn, Paul Doherty, and Paul P3 Wright, who, as you know, was the most recent Sockers player to have their number retired and have his jersey raised in the rafters. Their message was simple: bring the cup back to where it belongs, San Diego. Craig, Philly, back to you.
Much appreciated, Melissa. We'll be hearing from Panda and Melissa through the course of today's broadcast, but it's just about time to get things kicked off. Gentlemen, the Sockers are the road team today. They're in their road sky blues with white sleeves, white shorts with blue Adidas trim, and the light blue socks, and they will run left to right across your screens, while the Ontario Fury, the home team, in their black, drifting into red on the midriff black shorts with red stripes and black socks, they will run right to left. It is William Van Zella in net versus Clayson DeLima, and our referees, Ryan Sigich, the director of officiating for the MASL, along with Kyle Trimble. The whistle is sounded. 15 minutes on the clock. We're underway. Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals, the Sockers and the Ontario Fury. Justin Stinson clears the ball away from Marcio Leite. A battle for possession between 2 Brazilians, Thiago Gonçalves and Leonardo de Oliveira, who had a spectacular goal on Friday night. Gonçalves had a pretty nice cracker of a goal himself. In fact, pretty goals were pretty well distributed between the 2 teams. However, pure goal distribution was 7 for the Sockers and 3 for the Fury. Stinson, one of the best dribblers in the Major Arena Soccer League. Back to the Brazilian veteran, Gonçalves. Frank Tayu, 2 goals on Sunday, looking for Gonsalves. And Venzela colliding with Pollo Ruiz. We have a foul, and it's against the Fury on the far wall.
You mentioned the name Stinson. He's a player that is going to have to step up big this evening. Obviously, King Frank as well, too. 2 players that the Fury faithful are looking to get quite a few goals out of tonight if the Fury are going to force that mini game.
Abdul Mansouré, one of the players into the lineup today, shoots to the back post wide. Johnny Juan Tapete will track it down. For the Fury finds an open man in the middle, and that shot saved by Venzela. Pacheco denied the game's opening goal. Escoto with a clever sidewall pass, bounding forward. Tavoy Morgan tried to take it, make that Robert Palmer, took it away, right back to the middle of the field. Brandon Escoto able to collect for San Diego. First minute 20 done here this afternoon at Toyota Arena, and it's a scoreless affair so far.
We talked about doors being closed and windows being open. You'd love to see the young guys, Abdul Mansouré, who has not featured in a great deal of minutes over the course of the playoffs, taking a shot. Pacheco, who was a rookie just the other season, having another shot on goal. And you want these young kids to go out there and make their efforts, to make their presence felt, because that's going to fill the hole in the gaps of losing players such as Mike Conde Abreu and, of course, Charlie Gonzalez. But that's what's going to be the difference maker. These kids have an opportunity to step it up.
Pino's shot, a diving save by Clayson de Lima. First major test for the Ontario keeper who won MASL Goalkeeper of the Year. Second minute's gone. Action's heating up from the Inland Empire. No score. The Sockers and the Fury in both clubs have a save from their keeper now. It's Gonsalves, guarded by Iram Pollo Ruiz, the Sockers' goals and points leader for the playoffs. Tayu had that one dribbled off of his toe. Good defense by the Sockers' 38-year-old captain, Brian Farber. Farber and Childs wearing those captain's armbands for San Diego. Tavoy Morgan had that go off the wrong hip, was trying to turn Cisse, who's wearing that captain's armband for Ontario.
Big moment for the captain. He has been with this club throughout the entire history of the franchise. Very big moment for him. He's seen the good times. He's seen the bad times. Magical moment for Israel Cisse, number 23.
That ball hopped away from Tavoy Morgan's control. Uzi Tayu was able to take it away. Now a steal by Morgan. Sets up Leo. Leo's shot. Curving, and it scores. Might have been a deflection off of the boot, but it's primero to the Brasileño, as Leonardo de Oliveira has made it 1-0.
And looking at that replay, that was a fantastic shot. He took it from past the yellow line. It curved to the right of Clayson de Lima, and the San Diego Sockers go up 1-0 with 11 minutes and 58 seconds. Leo, one of the leaders on this club throughout the course of the regular season, making his presence felt in this Game 2 of the MASL Final.
And Morgan was going to get the assist, his third of the finals, on that steal.
He has been a contributor since the inception of his arrival on this team. If you're a San Diego Sockers fan, you've got to love Tavoy Morgan. At this point, do you really want to let him go back to Harrisburg?
He is on loan from the Heat. This ball down to Jeff Hughes. Remember, the Fury are at their most furious when another team is overconfident and a little excited. This is where the Fury have scored so many of their goals this year. It's just in the minute after an opponent scores. Frank Tayu, usually the guy on the opposite end of that as well.
You mentioned the Harrisburg Heat, and certainly our sincerest welcome to the fans of all 17 teams joining us today. And one of the beautiful things about this 2021 season that has been so fraught with challenges is the fact that so many teams have got to cheer on some of their favorite players, albeit in different kits, gentlemen.
And we thank everybody to continue and support major arena soccer in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Stinson on a steal with a chance, shoots, misses wide, just missed wide of left post. Tayu couldn't get that shot on frame on the hot rebound. Robert Palmer now as the Fury maintain possession. 4 minutes gone off the first quarter clock. The goal at 3:02, Leonardo de Oliveira with his third of the Ron Newman Cup playoffs from Tavoy Morgan. Here's Jurado stepping up on pressure. One of the young bucks of the Sockers, just 24 years old, the Tijuanense, formerly of the Turlock Cal Express. Pacheco curves one. He's looking for Tayu off the corner boards. Frank has to chase it down beyond the yellow line. Tayu, nice entry pass, looking for Santana. Back, and another long shot that hit the joint of post and crossbar.
That was a great shot by Christian Alvarado. Loyola Marymount University, fine player, and he's been with this club for a little while. Not played that much in the playoffs, but he made his presence felt. That was a great shot off the aluminum.
Holding foul on Nelson Santana was grabbing the arm of Stinson. One thing the Fury have, not only talent, but youth. And Stinson, at just 23 years old, out of St. Charles, Missouri, was a Rookie of the Year 2 years ago, signed with the Fury. Boy, the future's bright. Long shot, but that one was seen easily by Venzella. Now, he did not control the rebound, putting Farber in the kitchen. And that ball bounces, and now it's Tayu. Tayu. 3 men slide to block the shot. Pino, Farber, and Venzella forming a triumvirate of defense.
And that's something the Sockers were doing well over the course of the first game, being extremely stingy in the defense. It was hard for the Ontario Fury to thread that needle and even get a clear shot on goal.
Thiago Gonçalves had his shot attempt blocked by Cristian Gutierrez, who had 5 of the Sockers' 21 blocks as a team in Game 1. Pair that up with 19 blocks in Game 2 of the semifinals, 40 blocks in the last 2 games for the San Diego Sockers defense.
21 blocks on 36 total shots. Nearly 2/3 of Ontario's offense didn't even make it to the keeper. A fantastic team effort to get down on the turf and block those shots on Friday's game.
1-0 San Diego. Leo the early goal. Leite trying to take that one away from Hughes. Gutierrez now has Escoto with space to work. Brandon Escoto coming in now. He's got Felipe Gonzalez. Felipe turns. He shoots. He scores! It's time for a salsa dance in the Ron Newman Cup Finals as Felipe Gonzalez, his first time in the finals, his first salsa dance. 2-0 San Diego ahead.
Escoto with a great pass, and he just turned around on a Jeff Hughes, launched one into the back of the net past Clayson DeLima. The Sockers are now up 2-0 with 8 minutes and 54 seconds to go in this game. They are looking really good in these opening minutes of the first quarter here in the MASL Finals.
He absolutely threw the brakes on Jeff Hughes there, who could not get the Buick to stop in time. Goal, San Diego.
One would argue that his ankle was broken on that play. Fantastic goal by the San Diego Sockers.
Felipe Gonzalez, truly one of the leaders of this San Diego club, and he has not been able to be a player on the field to lead them over the course of the last 2 seasons. No one more gratified to be scoring in a final than Felipe Gonzalez. Here's Pacheco. Jesus Pacheco, just 20 years old, out of Northridge. Another one of these young contributors to this Fury club. Frank Tayus, the wizened veteran, so's Gonçalves. Thiago working on Farber, trying to get him to dance. 2 men stepped in once again. Gutierrez was right there. Gonçalves now trying to cut it. Gutierrez in his hip pocket. Tayu now sees Gutierrez step in and around, and Cristian appears to have the ability to multiply himself on the field. He's been everywhere. 8:08 first quarter, clock running. Sockers have the early edge, 2-0 in Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. Somewhat similar to what we saw on Friday night. Sockers were a bit quicker to the uptake there, going up 3-0 7 minutes in.
Fury have had a pattern of late of falling behind in the first quarter, something they have been able to overcome many times. Of course, Friday night not being an example of that.
Yeah, this would be the 5th consecutive game in this playoff that the Fury have conceded first. And it is in 4 of those games that they were down multiple goals in the first quarter. The only exception, a mini game, which only lasted 1 quarter. And they were down 1-0. Look out! As Felipe came flying in, DeLima had to scramble to gobble up a loose ball. Next whistle will be the officials' timeout. Jeff Hughes sailing to try and find that one. Pino headed it away for a moment. Tayu rescues it for the men in red and black. Cisse, Tepete, and Nestor Hernandez, the longtime veteran, many years out of Dallas. Hughes trying to find Nestor just behind his heel. Cesar Serra, who missed Friday's game with knee trouble, back in the lineup, one of the Sockers leaders and first team All-MASL defense this year as well.
Arguably in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, fell to his opponent this evening, Berto.
Johnny Tepete back out to Jeff Hughes. 2 former San Diego Sockers linking up on that pass and then heading to the bench respectively. Justin Stinson now as Alvarado comes back out. Good read of the play. There's Iram Poyo Ruiz. Ruiz playing in his 3rd MASL final, twice a finalist with Soles de Sonora in 2016 and 2017. when he was a teammate of Frank Tayu and Uzi Tayu. Cerda now. Over to William Vanzella. Outstanding with his feet. One of the best goalkeepers in the league in that respect. Morgan pushed into the glass. Striker right there to give him a face-to-face. But it'll be a free kick for San Diego.
You got to wonder the conversation that Striker tried to engage with Tavoy Morgan. I mean, he is a mountain lion. Maybe he can't talk, but really funny seeing Tavoy Morgan having a face-to-face with the mascot of the Ontario Fury.
Maybe a growl? Was there a hiss?
A nip. A cat paw.
Brandon Escoto and Craig Childs, two very dangerous men with the football on this right wing restart. Escoto's going to step over and around. Childs is going to bang it off the wall, looking for Escoto. It dribbles. And a good job by George DeLeon to chunk that ball out of the air down to Clayson DeLima. 9 minutes walking off the clock. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Here's Tayu. Big Frank. 11 goals on the playoff. 12 points overall. Stinson, his shot blocked by Felipe. And it's back out to George DeLeon. DeLeon trying to get a burst to his right foot. Got Farber to slide and commit. That puts DeLeon open in the corner. Kicked by Vanzella to deny that bounce pass. Excellent veteran reading of the angles. Vanzella right there, never panicking. Gonsalves now. Eyeing, measuring, figuring it out. Stepping in and stealing. Gerardo Jurado. Giving it back. Tayu, 1v1, he scores.
And now it's time for the Fury to get furious. Frank Tayu putting the exclamation point on that goal. Let's take a look at that replay once again. Thiago Gonçalves being a part of that. Frank Tayu, who has picked up the scoring knack over the course of the playoffs. People said, what's going on with Frank? He's not contributing as much as he normally does, but he is the leading scorer on this Ontario Fury team, and they need the king to wield his mighty scepter in order for them to get back into this game.
Not just the leading scorer on this team, but the leading scorer in the MASL in these playoffs with his 12th goal to lead. And with that, we'll be right back with some more action for you from the MASL Ron Newman Cup Finals.
Should have seen this coming. A stampede unleashed 55 years ago, built for freedom, power, and rebellion. And just when you think you know where they're going, they do something unexpected. Something that moves us all forward and holds nothing back. The all-electric Mustang Mach-E. The newest member of the family.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Back with you from Toyota Arena, the Ron Newman Cup Finals Game 2. The Ontario Fury have just scored, narrowing the Sockers' lead to 2-1. Frank Tayu from Thiago Gonçalves at 9:44 of the first quarter. Craig, Philly, and Jonathan back with you from the booth. Panda and Melissa downstairs. Mike Zepeda leads our SCCC Productions crew from Ontario, California. Vanzella just kicks it to his opposite number. That's 2 straight giveaways for Vanzella and a foul on Santana. And it's funny, boys, just in terms of we were just talking about Vanzella never panicking with his toes, and it was a steal on the attempt to play out of the back for San Diego that led to that real gimme goal for Ontario. Now a chance for more. Here's Hughes coming in. Jeff Hughes, his attempt blocked. The left foot blocked by Farber.
Ontario figured out if you just don't have any Sockers players between you and the keeper, they won't block it. Seems to be the key to their first goal there.
Well put. Here's Hughes over to DeLima. How do we avoid the blocked shot? Have no Sockers in the way.
It's a clear game plan. That's how Jimmy gets Coach of the Year.
Frank Tayu with Pino in his hip pocket. Pino bumps him off the ball and gets whistled for the foul. Ryan Sigish has a quick restart by Tepete. Over to Stinson. Justin probing. Tapete shooting. Just wide. Tapete with what we've all, and they call a handball there on Pollo. It'll give it right back to Ontario. That shot measured about 5 inches wide. It's the consistent theme of Juan Tapete's career, one of the hardest shots in the league, not the most accurate. Gonçalves. When he hits, though, it's a banger. Pacheco. This one's going to dribble through, and Venzela is able to find it for the Sockers. Working through the 11th minute, out of 60 here tonight. Again, Morgan trying to post up, had that one taken away from behind, and then a poor attempt to cross by De Oliveira got over the high glass and out of play. High glass rings the entire field here at Ontario's Toyota Arena. That's always a strategic difference maker in the sport of arena soccer. Fewer restarts, fewer free kicks as the result. More ball in play. Clock runs more often.
I know it has been a point of contention for many fans, high glass versus low glass, but from the spirit of keeping the action moving, I kind of like the high glass. Curious to hear your thoughts, gentlemen.
At the same time, being a fan, and they did this during the All-Star game. They did this during the All-Star game. Anytime a ball was kicked out of play, fan got to keep it. So for a fan perspective, it's kind of fun to take a ball home at the end of the day.
Here's Christian Alvarado. The Fury looking for that equalizer. 2-0, long in the rearview mirror. Been 2-1 since 9:44. Gonçalves now. And De Leon now. Felipe Gonzalez, who has a goal tonight, along with Leonardo de Oliveira. He was the man on defense there. Now Leite. De Leon exchanges with Stinson. George De Leon, ex of Mesquite, a lone player for the Fury. Forward to Stinson. Chip that off the chest. It's bounding in. Got a toe on it, but too high. Over Marcio's shoulder, but over the glass as well, and out of play. Just a word of note on the great Milwaukee Wave captain, Marcio Leite. There was a lot of discussion regarding pronunciation, and I had the opportunity on Saturday to get the direct voice message from Marcio as well. Wanted to make sure, and we've heard Leite, we've heard Leite, Leite. There's a little bit less on the te, so it's Leite, but it's almost like leche. That's how he described it to me. It's like leche.
So we've heard a lot of names. So Leite?
We're going to go Leite.
Okay.
And we're going to say, Adam, have a corn dog, buddy. Element Ontario, proud sponsor of the Ontario Fury, and we thank Element for their support of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left in the first quarter, 2-1. San Diego with the advantage. This one bounded funny off of the side glass, came to Taiyu. Frank on the elbow. Tipped away. Escoto trying to run it down, but Uzi Tayu's got the step, and then Uzi takes a tumble. The 5'4 man took down the 6'2 man. Taiyu would like to have heard a whistle. Stinson off the bench, scrambling. Frank Taiyu now, with Nestor making the run. Shot blocked by Cardenas. And with a minute 38 left, back to De Lima.
Once again, it appears as though the officiating crew is letting them play, just like we saw on Friday.
Taiyu with a big bump into Cardenas to get that ball. Back to his brother Uzi. Across to Stinson. Justin with double step over, step on, bring it back out. Shot just wide. Second chance. Taiyu gave it a swing. Uzi did. Chunked away. Uzi again. Over to Nestor. Minute 11. Long shot try. Bouncing in the air. Headed cleverly again. Smartest guy on the field. Felipe Gonzalez gets it back to Venzela.
Looking at that replay, once again, Christian Alvarado with another shot knocking on the door of the San Diego Sockers. He needs to make attempts. Players like him need to make attempts in order for the Fury to go back into this game.
Easy call that Robert Palmer did not like. The push on Tavoy Morgan. It'll give the Sockers a free kick outside the yellow line. They'll just play it back. 50 seconds of minute 15 here at Toyota Arena. See if there's any magical goals in the final minute. Urado hasn't taken a shot on net. Young man who is a terrific offensive player, but that's two quick and easy fouls on Ontario there. Frank Taiyu picks up one. And again, as noted, Ryan Sigic, while they're letting them play, Sigic is a more gentle whistle when it comes to smaller fouls like that. I think he calls more common fouls, but the blue cards are going to be at that regular level that you expect. And, of course, he's the director of officiating. We know he does a great job. This time, it's Tavoy. And with 20 seconds left and a little bit of a slow start to the clock, they get an extra half second to the Fury here to try and conjure something late. Smart move. Stinson's doing it. Shoots it wide. And Leite comes away with it. Bounces it to himself. 5 seconds. Forward to Poyo. DeLima can come out and challenge. With 1 second. Funny carom, but it came into an unoccupied crease as the horn sound.
And with that, that brings us to the end of the first quarter. San Diego Sockers lead the Ontario Fury 2-1 with 3 quarters of action and potentially a mini game yet to play. We're coming at you live here from Ontario, California, and we will be back right after this in the MASL Ron Newman Cup Finals.
Whatever you want to do out there, we've got the truck to get it done. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Back from Ontario, California's Toyota Arena to get kicked off for the second quarter of MASL Ron Newman Cup action. I'm Jonathan Reimer. Joining me, Craig Elston and Christian Philly Filliman, the respective voices of the franchises featured today, San Diego Sockers and Ontario Fury. Gentlemen, let's get ready for the second quarter.
Two teams switch sides, so now the Sockers will run right to left and the Fury left to right across your screens. First quarter shots. 7 for the Fury, 3 for San Diego, and Philly only one player between the two teams with multiple fouls. Nelson Santana of the Sockers with 2. Of course, the MASL rule, 4 personal fouls in 1 half is a blue card. 6 total personal fouls in the game is ejection.
The Grizzly veteran brought onto this team in order to add some defensive prowess. He once called Toyota Arena home as a member of the Ontario Fury.
With the whistle sounded, we're back underway with an entry pass looking for Tayu, punted out of the air and taken down from the air by De Leon. De Leon with space, and Tayu moving out. Vanzella has to come out to challenge, and the whistle is called a foul on Vanzella, who was complaining for a handball from De Leon in the corner. Great free kick chance for Ontario right here. Essentially a left corner kick.
One of those moments where you think the Fury might benefit from the restart as opposed to the goal here, because a challenge flag might have brought that back for the call on the handball. Instead, the restart.
Interesting play. Gonsalves will take it, and a little bit wide. Vanzella got a touch on the ball, but it was headed wide either way. Good look at Gonsalves. Interesting, well-designed play. And he was trying to beat Vanzella on his short post. That's the part I find interesting.
He's got a boot on him. He made that very evident in the first goal of the Fury for Friday night's game.
Frank Tayu is the engine of this club. Diego Gonçalves now down to Pacheco and out to Justin Stinson. In the middle, it's Frank. Frank with good position. Gonçalves will tee it up, blocked by Farber. Cisse knocks it down. We're back to that feeling that a lot of the first half of Friday's game, a lot of Fury possession.
The Fury dominated possession over the course of the second quarter. They had 12 shots to the San Diego Sockers 3.
There's one, and just high. Stinson missed by inches, tying this game. A foul on San Diego, can't get out of their zone. Another free kick coming up to try and tie it up.
I mean, that's been the case for them all season long. They keep knocking on the door. If you saw the first game of the season against the St. Louis Ambush, they had so many shots that just missed the goal by inches. That was the case yesterday. They need to get a little closer on that mark.
It's Tayu. He'll take it. Kick save. Venzella boots it out, but not away. And the foul called by Kyle Trimble. Take a look at Stinson narrowly missing.
So close.
Leite gets it started. And back over to Venzella. Tavoy Morgan. He's trying to establish some possession. Mitchell Cardenas, and now it's Venzella, and here comes Nestor flying out. Forced Venzella into a riskier pass than he wanted using the boards. Now into the air, headed by Felipe. There's a runner the other side, but Tavoy Morgan couldn't see him. The foul called on Uzi Tayu. Quickly out to Escoto, crossing the floor. And Leite will handle things from here. Second minute gone, second quarter. 2-1 was our first quarter score, and it maintains so far. Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. Wrestling match. Foul called on Uzi. That's too quick on Uzi. And it's also a free kick for San Diego coming in.
Fourth foul on Morgan, clearly an attempt to play physical against him today, and it has not worked out well for the Furies so far. Their fourth foul called attempting to guard Morgan.
Escoto deflected, and there's Robert Palmer on the back post. Probably was going wide. This one's deflected out of play. And back to San Diego.
Defensive player of the year there, Mr. Berto, getting a foot in on that one.
So, it'll be in front of the San Diego bench, a restart. Robert Palmer, there you see his numbers from game 1. The defensive player of the year for the regular season, had 5 goals and 11 assists in that regular season. Childs one-time shot, a hopper, and DeLima reads the hop. Back out to Alvarado as you see the Childs skipper. Alvarado got it into offensive midfield. Now Palmer over to the right wing. Step and cross. Tayu from De Leon. Nudged off his shoulder. Frank. So hard to get the ball away from the King. And another foul called on San Diego.
It's getting a little chippy out there in the second quarter. A lot more whistles we have seen throughout the second.
Gonçalves is going to bring it back out front and center. It's Robert Palmer. Trying to play the middle. De Leon, bouncing ball. Cerda, Pollo, both on defense. Out to Stinson. 2-1, narrow action. No scoring yet this quarter. Could change any moment. Tayu, back out De Leon. Cerda is man marking him. Sockers trying to deny any type of pattern running here. Hard man marking. And now another quick foul. And that's what I'm seeing, boys, from our officiating crew. They don't want this to get to the blue cards. They're keeping it with a common foul, but they really are keeping a tight check on the contact overall.
Clearly trying to avoid any escalation here. Want to have ourselves a clean game.
Gonçalves back to Cisse. I mean, as long as they don't get 4 in a guy, the Sockers will pile up as many personal fouls as they'd like to keep the score low. Into Tayu now with Pino on his hip. Tried the back heel try, thinking a little Leo action there. Cisse, great job scrambling to get that. And the call looks like a foul on San Diego once again. It's 4 straight fouls on the Sockers. Back out to Gonsalves. It's just been a foul-filled second quarter so far.
Seems like every time San Diego goes to
Tayu.
clear, the whistle brings it back.
Turning off the ground and off his line is Venzela to grab that ball. Excellent read. Stinson pressuring immediately on the rollout. Venzela. Forward, Morgan, blown up, foul called, Berto. And again, it's got to be even both ways. And Morgan's drawing almost as many fouls as Tayu is on the other side of the floor. So the restart will be behind the yellow line, and we've got currently one of the longest second quarters in memory because I think there's been about 12 fouls this quarter so far.
We're barely 4 minutes into the second quarter. You're right. It does feel like the longest second quarter ever.
Childs, Leite, two options here to shoot. More likely just to play it. Yeah, Childs plays it back to Leite. Marcio working across the Ford logo. Over to Cardenas, and his attempted pass down into the zone was blocked painfully off of the brain of Pacheco.
Right in the beak, Cotton.
Over to Cardenas. We tried to get this game on the Ocho, but maybe next year. Here's Felipe Gonzalez scooting along the bench wall. Ball got out in front of him. Palmer able to gather it. Pacheco now weaving, punted by Leo, but Sockers have been doing a lot of defense and punting. Now here's Tepete looking for the angle, turning off the wall. Tayu, great sliding block. Cardenas denies a likely equalizer there from the King.
Great defense by Mitchell Cardenas. That easily would have been a goal for Frank Tayu had Mitchell Cardenas not been in the way of that ball. Fantastic defense by the San Diego Sockers.
Cisse coming in on Felipe. Cisse zigging and zagging, juking and jiving. Over to Stinson. He's ready to dance. That ball is going to be taken away by Leonardo de Oliveira. Sockers want the counter to be on. The man who's done it better than anyone in the playoffs, Christian, taken down here. Another foul called on Ontario. This one looks to be Cisse that'll get that whistle.
He does lead the team historically in most fouls per season.
Nelly Santana, O-Town in the house.
Got that fresh haircut, too.
Childs from Venzela. Jurado looking for somewhere to go. That pressure comes right at the midfield line from Ontario. They don't want the Sockers to organize anything offensively.
A high press is something we have seen from this Ontario Fury team all year long. We know Jimmy Nordberg loves to coach that high press. He's big on his training involving lots and lots and lots of cardio.
Right now it's keep away. Venzela and Santana with Monserrat running quick wind sprints in between. And with that, the 6th minute of the second quarter is gone. 9 left. Flying is Stinson off his head for defensive clearance. So Stinson wanted to go the extra step to try and make a defensive play. What he's done is surrender a dangerous free kick.
You mentioned it prior to Friday night's broadcast that these free kicks could be the deciding factor in these games, potentially a big moment here.
Escoto, Leite, or Childs. Those are your options. Escoto backs off. Leite plays it. Childs shoots it. Deflected by Palmer. Second try, high off frame. Good block, Robert Palmer. Leite waiting. Leo stealing. Men available. Leonardo de Oliveira off the wall looking. 3 men in black in the crease. Leite is able to send it back out. With 8:35 left in the second quarter, Venzela holds outside his yellow line. Forward looking for Tavoy as we remind you that Kaiser Permanente San Diego, proud sponsor of the San Diego Sockers in 2021. Morgan frustrated on a foul call.
He does seem to find himself at the center of all the whistles tonight so far.
And clearly part of the game plan is to play as physically with Tavoy Morgan as possible. Stinson accepting a ball on the run. Pollo trying to stay with him, hits the brakes. Beautiful job. Out to Palmer. Thought about it for one moment. Gutierrez was in the way. Back to Palmer, the give and go. Quick foul called on Pollo. Both teams probably getting a little tired of the nature of the whistle, but none of them been showed a card yet, and I think that's what they have to keep in mind.
Watch your mouth there. Definitely those yellow cards have been flying around throughout the course of this season. Got to make sure you don't talk yourself into the sin bin.
Palmer, right back to Stinson. Justin saw Poyle reach in. Now, Stinson thought that was a hand to the face. He's slow to get up.
And the challenge flag has been thrown by Jimmy Nordberg. We've got the yellow flag on the pitch. I don't think
that is a non-challengeable play because there was no foul called, isn't it?
I believe it can only be elevated to a blue if an original foul was called. So throwing a challenge flag without a foul being called, not a challengeable play to the best of my knowledge, and it looks like the flag will be passed back to Mr. Nordberg.
Yep, and we were right. That was not a challengeable play, and we've reached the officials' timeout.
Poyo needing to be careful. I think he's got 3 fouls over the course of this first half.
One more puts the Fury on a power play. But I do believe, boys, that we are at the officials' timeout. Let's take a break. 7:57 left to go in the second quarter. 2-1. Sockers lead the Fury. Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals on Facebook.
If your child wants to play soccer at the next level, Soccer Sam is here to help. Soccer Sam's soccer stimulus support can financially assist families in need to help pay for soccer clubs or camps. Email your story to soccersam@soccersam.com for consideration. Don't let financial hardship deter soccer development. Tell us why you are a deserving candidate for the Soccer Sam soccer stimulus support. Email soccersam@soccersam.com today. Feel the kick.
Should have seen this coming. A stampede unleashed 55 years ago, built for freedom, power, and rebellion. And just when you think you know where they're going, they do something unexpected.
Something that moves us all forward.
And holds nothing back.
The all-electric Mustang Mach-E. The newest member of the family.
Tequila. Treat yourself to the Philippines in life.
Back with you in Ontario, where Jimmy Nordberg, the head coach of the Ontario Fury, angry over a non-call on Iram Poyo Ruiz. Right there.
Lucky to avoid a Smurf sighting there. Definitely looked like hands to the face.
And again, just resetting the MASL rules, because replay is a brand new thing in the Major Arena Soccer League. A foul called can be challenged to be elevated to a blue or red card based on officials' review. However, if the whistle didn't sound, there's nothing to review to elevate.
Unless, of course, a goal is scored, in which case you can then go back and challenge that a foul led to a goal. But without a foul being called, no challengeable play there.
The Fury, however, have had the better of this second quarter without question. No scoring, however. Ball loose, looking for Tayu. Almost every time, Frank is going to be able to get that ball when they send it to him. Sign of a great target forward. Gonçalves now. Thiago, who's going to play heavy minutes tonight. Out to Tayu, same thing. He'll probably play 35 minutes this evening. Gonçalves now looking for Hughes. Had to reach out wildly, but there's Tayu, always ready to control the football. Over to Cisse. And now the other side for Frank. Gives it off for Cisse. Off the wall, looking for a runner. Blocked out of there by Cerda. Held in. Hughes, long shot high over frame. And a goal kick coming out for William Van Zella.
Folks, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. We want to give a big shout out to Soccer Sam's stimulus support. As a result of his generosity, this game is being played for free on Facebook Live. We had a lot of views on the last telecast, one of the best ones in MASL history. Shout out to Soccer Sam's stimulus.
Handball called right there, and a very, very easy one on Tavoy Morgan.
Very easy one.
And here is Frank Tayu. He's got Nestor in the middle. Off the wall, looking for him. Just missed. Chipped away. Sockers again, can they even get out of their half? This has been the story of the whole quarter.
Inches away from a Superman sighting there as the Chicago native Nestor gets in on that one, just missing it.
It was a defensive giveaway by the Sockers that led to Ontario's only goal. That's out of play. A little bit of mistake. The one part of low glass in this arena is around the benches, and Mitchell Cardenas just chipped a ball into the Fury bench, and what a great opportunity for Ontario to tie the game now. They have 4 restart goals in the playoffs. Justin Stinson is going to be the man likely to take this. Might go for the direct shot. Let's see if they run a play. Oh, it's Pacheco, and he shoots it wide. Pacheco will try again, rims it around the board, loose. Leite out of the middle, could not control. Again, Sockers are trying to break out on the fast break before they have the football. And the Fury have had all the possession this quarter.
Still nothing to show for it. It remains 2-1 San Diego with 6:22 left in the second.
Van Zella just kicks it out. Another Sockers punt. Fielded by the free safety, De Lima. Here comes Gonçalves. Dancing forward. Ton of effort, of course, being expended by both teams here. Gonçalves now working on Pollo, who has to be careful about the foul count. Pollo jumping in, ball in the air, jumps up to head it. Not easy to do at 5'7". Back out to Cisse. Under 6 to go. And a very nervous second quarter. Out to Tepete now, finding Frank. Tayu once again. If it goes into Frank, he gets the ball. Tayu turns and shoots and scores!
What a fantastic goal by Frank Tayu. The Fury have now tied this game. Let's take a look at that replay once again. Frank getting the ball. He's got a couple of San Diego Sockers defenders on him. He turns it around. It looks like it was Mitchell Cardenas and Pollo. Frank Tayu blasting one to the upper right-hand corner. Van Zella stretched out wide on that. Frank Tayu, another goal within the course of this playoffs. The Fury are now tied with 5 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in this second quarter.
Wow. San Diego tried a double team on Frank. They're unsuccessful. Big man just too powerful. Quick turn and fires to that top right corner. Unstoppable shot.
He has not had an MASL title. That is one thing. I've spoken with him over the course of the entire season. One thing that Frank wants is to lift that Newman trophy. He is determined. Could tonight be the night to do it? They still have a lot of action left to go.
Well, we got a brand new game as it is 2-2 with 5:32 left in the second.
2 goals in 1 game, a brace for the King.
Loose ball, Tayu, or make that Mansoure flying in. The foul's actually called on Gonzalez there. Tepete gets the assist on that Tayu goal at 9:23 to make it a 2-2 score, and is deserved a score line as I've seen in these playoffs, because the Sockers have not in any way looked like a team that deserved to lead since they took that 2-0 lead 6 minutes into the first quarter. It has been nothing but a defensive shell for the last 20 minutes. And a shell that has now been broken. Felipe, however, with yards of space in the middle of the field. Escoto now checking in. Escoto dancing out. Rolls it to the wrong team. It's Nestor Hernandez, and the counter is very much on here. Berto on the right wing. Mansoure on the left. Berto into the corner. Santana stays with him. And that allows, for the moment, the Sockers to escape the jam. Tayu not on the floor, but he's about to be. Checks right back into the game. And was that too many men on the floor? That ball hit an unexpected player on the way off. That could be a challengeable play. We're going to wait and find out. And as Vinzella, that hit the glass and out. It's not defensive clearance, but it will be a wall restart for Ontario. Now a chance for the Fury to take the lead.
Didn't look like the Fury player had come in yet, so the ball striking the back of the legs of the player exiting the field. Not too many men.
Good news for the Fury. Stinson is going to step to that left foot. Shot blocked by Morgan. Tavoy gets into the block party. Cisse. Tayu feeling it. Lost the ball, though. Was trying to maybe give it back to Cisse. A gentle chip by Santana turns into a pinball that turns into a header out of play by Alvarado. 4:01 left in the second quarter. Have an interview at the half with one of the coaches down on the floor. Giles beaten in the air, and the Fury have consistently in this game won every ball in the air.
Taking advantage of any height advantage they might have today.
On the run, Santana. On the run, Nelly into the corner now. Picked up that loose ball, and DeLima finds it and then insinuates contact.
Looks like he might have gotten kicked in the hand is what he is claiming as the player ran through.
Nelly did make some contact with Clayson. Not intentional, of course. It's just a matter of the game being played.
Does look like Santana catches him just a little bit on the hand there. No harm, no whistle.
DeLima will chuck it out, and Stinson will run it down. 3.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. All Ontario this quarter.
DeLima, a much better distributor of the ball with his hands there.
Pulled down. This could be our first card of the night. Nope. Regular foul called by Kyle Trimble, but that was a hand on an arm of a player running away. Leo dragged down.
He did get dragged down.
They roped the bull.
Ontario lucky to avoid a trip to the bin there.
Free kick for San Diego. It's back to Pino. Jurado, Giles, back to Jurado. Double teamed in that corner. Spits out. Giles falls down, brings down De Leon. De Leon brings down Giles. Or Jurado, and the foul is called on Ontario, but that legs in the blender down there.
Dog pile there on the left wing.
Big kick, though, for San Diego.
Huge opportunity to break the deadlock here before we go into the half. Just 3 minutes left here in the second. Still knotted at 2.
It was De Oliveira and Felipe for San Diego, and then it was Tayu and Tayu. Frank twice. Giles now. Watching the wall. Plays. It's Escoto. Back heel. Looking for Leo. Couldn't get it. Cisse was careful to avoid touching that ball with his hand while he was down on the floor. Israel Cisse, captain of the Fury. Exchanging contact with Childs, captain of the Sockers, as the two come off the floor. 2:45 left to go in this half. Lete over to Morgan. Tavoy has had 3 assists in this final, but has yet to really even have a good chance on goal.
Might affect the game just on the foul sheet, if not with goals or assists.
Great point. Loose for a moment. Pollo pressuring. De Leon, excellent to win that away. And a foul was called on the Sockers there. Fans booing the whistle. I think what the fans are booing is the absolute lack of rhythm that this second quarter has, because it's been dancing in between whistles.
It's funny because that first quarter, Jonathan, you had mentioned that the ref was letting them play. It's a completely different story in the second quarter.
Good old broadcaster's curse, but the customers are welcome to their opinion, and my goodness, is it good to have them back with us.
Stinson looking out. Stinson diving in. Pollo had to rescue that ball from the edge of the crease, but then the sidewall pass attempt came down funny. Whizzed past Farber's attempt to control. Now Pino will try it again in hot water. Vanzella with Stinson on his back. Pollo over to Lete as we are under 2 minutes in the second quarter. Now Pino and Escoto quiet in this game. Brandon Escoto trying to just simply handled off the ball by Frank Tayu. Get out of here, kid. You bottom me. Giveaway. Escoto cuts, deflection, and just wide. Lucky for Ontario. And the whistle and the foul on the Sockers there with 91 seconds left in the quarter.
And the Boo Birds are raining in Toyota Arena. You can definitely hear quite a few Sockers fans have made that trip up the I-15 today. Fantastic to have some energy back in the stands.
It's something we haven't really experienced in a long time, and that energy is fantastic, even from up here in the booth.
Look out! Mansoret, goal!
There we go! Let's go! The young folks needing to get themselves in the game. Replay, pull that up. Let's take a look at the go-ahead goal for the Fury. Mansoret, a rookie this season from London, put in the work around Guerrero Pina, and that was Pacheco. That was Pacheco who put that into the back of the net. Let's take a look at it one more time. the exclamation point. For those of you who don't know who Abdul Mansoureh is, this is his first season. He scored his first goal as a professional indoor player on March the 5th against the St. Louis Ambush. He attended Wilmington University in Delaware, and we said it early. The hole that is left from the departure of the players that are departed, the young bucks need to come into the game, and they're in it. Abdul Mansoureh, Pacheco, putting themselves into this game. It is 3-2 Ontario Fury here in Toyota Arena. 1:12 left to go in the second quarter.
Mansoureh, a diehard Chelsea Blues fans, rooting against the color blue today, but that goal he had was a beautiful one early this season. Chipped it off the board around the keeper to himself and in. He definitely has an ability up there on the wing, and we saw it with his dime to Pacheco.
Fourth goal's coming, guys. Cisse tried to put that in the middle. Felipe got a touch. Big collision there at midfield. And yet again a common foul, and now the blue is up.
There we got some blue.
I think you had to have one here.
Yes.
Clearly last man. Clearly didn't get any of the ball. Looks like Thiago Gonçalves there that's going to be making a trip to the sin bin and seeing two for that smart sighting.
Wow. That's a cynical penalty to be sure. But one that could have presented a breakaway the other direction. So with 54.1 seconds left in the second quarter, the San Diego Sockers will go on the man advantage for the first time in this Ron Newman Cup Finals. This power play would continue potentially through 1:06 of the third quarter if Sockers don't score between here and the halftime whistle.
Soccer's been incredibly successful on the power play this season, converting 2/3 of the time. Ontario only able to kill roughly 44% of the time, 4 out of 9.
And we'll see how this one, the first of the finals, unfolds. Escoto dribbling in, left it to the side. Leo up front and center. It's Leite. Leite now, it's Childs. Childs to Escoto, 35 seconds on the quarter clock. We'll only pay attention to that because, as mentioned, the power play will last to the next quarter if needed. Escoto, Leo, 25 seconds. It's Leite. Leite front and center, Morgan in the middle. Childs on the wing. Childs across, Leo. Holding, one touch, looking, passing, corner. It's Escoto. Can't find Morgan in the middle. 14 seconds. Soccer's probing, but they need a shot. Escoto will take it off the wall. Headed, comes to Childs. He shoots, huge save! Save of the game to Lima so far. And the whistle and a foul on the Sockers will kill the half.
What a fantastic save by Clayson DeLima. Pull that replay up again, Mike Zepeda. Look at that. Off of the headboards. Hands all over it. And Clayson DeLima showing right then and there why he's the goalkeeper of the year. Uzi Tayu waving his hands up in the air. Toyota Arena is rocking. It's been over a year since we have heard this type of excitement in this arena. Let's go, folks. Let's go.
Uzi trying to fire up the crowd. However, a challenge flag has been thrown onto the pitch. Not exactly sure what is the
challenge. Looks like a non-challengeable play is what I could just see Kyle Trimble come up and say, like, here you go, have it back. And I have no idea, of course, what they were trying to challenge to.
Looks like they're challenging the play with Morgan on Tayu there in the corner. But I don't believe that is a challengeable play, so the flag has been issued back to Salvaggio, and we play on.
DeLima gets the... Oh, Tavoy Morgan is in the penalty box. There's no penalty on the screen as the half ends, and we don't know if that's we presume it's a yellow card. It's just got to be. So it looks like Morgan got a yellow card for that play. We are at the half, gentlemen, and what a half it was. The Fury fell back 2-0 early and then roared back 3 consecutive goals to take a 3-2 lead on the live table. We'd be heading to a mini game, but boys, throw that live table away. We got a full half of soccer left to play.
That second quarter was a whole game in and of itself. My goodness, so much action back and forth there as we see Mansoureh to Pacheco tucking that one home for the goal.
And by the way, Morgan was given a blue card, gentlemen. There is now a penalty. It was not shown. It was not, in fact, we didn't see, it was the 4 fouls and a half is what they called. They called the 4th foul on Tavoy in the half. And so what this means, ladies and gentlemen, is that not only have the Sockers now failed their power play, they must not score on it, but it means the Fury will have a power play in the third quarter to try and extend their lead. Ontario, by far, the better of the two teams and the favorite in the Ron Newman Cup Finals. They finally showed it in this first half here today. They're taking a step towards their first ever championship, and by gosh, I think they just might do it. 3-2, the Fury with the lead over the Sockers, and right now, coming back to the floor, we will head down where Panda is standing by. A man to a panda interview. How'd you guys say that?
A little man to Amanda conversation
go.
as we are about to head pitch side with Panda. It looks like she's got Coach of the Year Jimmy Nordberg. We're about to send it down to your better half there, Philly.
All right, Jimmy, your boys came out here fired up tonight, no doubt ready to lay it all out on the line. How do you feel they're playing right now? And they put up 3 goals against a really stingy San Diego Sockers defense.
I think we came out and played very, very well. I think we sticking to the plan. We moved the ball much quicker, and we got some fight juice tonight. I think our defensive prowess is really, really positive, and I'm really happy. The first half, now we got to come in the third quarter and take advantage of this penalty and try to stretch our lead a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You've outshot them 14-6, so they are definitely gunning for the back of that net. How much of the fans being here is helping fuel these guys right now?
Love having our fans here. I just wish they would get a little bit louder to help us out. So if anybody can encourage them to get off the seats and yell for us, we would love that.
All right, we're going to work on that in the half. You go get the boys fired out, and let's close this out and send it to a mini game.
All right, Ben. Thank you.
All right, back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks so much, Panda. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout, and when we come back, MASL Commissioner Josh Schaub will join us for a conversation in the booth. Later on, we'll have your first half highlights, and of course, still to come, third quarter action. It'll begin with a minute 6 of 4v4, and it'll continue into a miniature power play of 48 seconds for the Ontario Fury. But right now, your halftime score, Fury with a lead, 3-2 over San Diego. You're watching Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals on Facebook.
Whatever you want to do out there, we've got the truck to get it done. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Get up and down, there and back, entire game, who we attack, we take our time, we'll head it back, we on our heels, counter attack, fake that wall pass, get into the open man, we hitting angles on angles, don't let that 3-line pass, it's a short field, so we don't need them long runs, we need the 7th man to help us till it's all done, everybody stand, everybody wave your hands, we the 7th man. Ontario, what? Ontario. Everybody stand, everybody clap. We the 7th man, Ontario fans. Say it loudly, say it proudly. Ontario, what? Ontario. We are what? We
your child wants to play soccer at the next level, Soccer Sam is here to help. Soccer Sam's soccer stimulus support can financially assist families in need to help pay for soccer clubs or camps. Email your story to soccersam@soccersam.com for consideration. Don't let financial hardship deter soccer development. Tell us why you are a deserving candidate for the Soccer Sam Soccer Stimulus Support. Email soccersam@soccersam.com today. Feel the kick.
It's halftime at Toyota Arena. It's the Ron Newman Cup Finals, Grand Final Day, Game 2, Game 3 potentially. Right now on the live table, it's active as the Fury lead the Sockers 3-2. My name is Craig Elston. It's my pleasure to welcome into our broadcast booth the commissioner of the Major Arena Soccer League, Josh Schaub. And Josh, a season of resilience, a season of tenacity for the Major Arena Soccer League, a year where almost every other league in the same area, the same niche as the MASL chose to sit out. Just don't play. Wait till the winter of 2021. MASL owners made a big decision for their fans.
They did. They took risks, to be honest, financially. Our players, don't discount what they've done in coming into the season, because I think our memories have been a little short about what the coronavirus has done, what it has been, and how much we learned along the way. You know, last fall, when this started coming together, we didn't know as much as we did now, and the vaccine I don't even think had been discussed at that point as a viable alternative come January. So, yes, this was an outstanding job done by our owners, by our players, by our staff to pull off this season, and we are at the league office very proud.
And as a result, you've had, I think, some of the greatest competition this league has ever seen in the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Naturally, we had 7 teams. We had a concentration of that talent, and that just feels like every single game we've been seeing, the fans have been getting their money's worth for sure.
Yeah, and obviously coming into the season, that's the opportunity we look at, is the concentration of the labor pool, creating the loan program for teams to send players off so they can play this season if they so chose. And that's what happened. And we're seeing the results. The semis were unbelievable in those 4 games. And just, as I said, the concentration of talent and the skill level being increased throughout the season has been amazing.
Now, we, of course, think ahead for this league because this is a league of growth. It's a league that has, I think, its best years still ahead of it. And we know that the commissioner's position is one in transition. You've had the opportunity to run this league since 2014-15. So tell me, on the way out, where do you think it stands now as opposed to where it was when you showed up?
Well, when I first came in, one of my number one charges, and my background as an attorney, is set up the governance systems for this league, both on the field and off the field, creating horizontal restraints to make sure the economic structure of the league was sound. And I believe we're at that point. Some fans may point to a shrinking at the top level, but the reality is teams got right-sized and we created M2 and M3.
Right.
Which I am so proud of what they're doing down at that level. Chris Economides, Andrew Ross at M2, and then our regional directors at M3 building out the pyramid of arena soccer, which I recollect talking to you about years ago, and the need for that. And now it's coming to fruition. And you're right, the best days of the MASL are ahead. I believe, I'd like to say that my role as a commissioner, I've done that. It's now time for someone else to take the baton and take it to the next level.
And I know you'll still have a lot to do, and you'll be there to help with the league, and especially on legal matters. But if there was one thing that, you know, like the letter that's left in the Resolute desk, if there was one thing that you'd leave for your incoming commissioner that you think is a true point, a needed point of emphasis for 2021-22, it would be what?
Well, it's not one thing. I have 15 pages, actually.
It's going to be a long letter in your desk, sorry.
15 pages regarding things to think about for the future. And really, I believe this product is on a launch pad to be something great. And it's going to take investment into the right channels to make that happen. We've done a very good job with our own right-sized league office, but now it's time for investment to come in to grow this league. So from a marketing perspective, creating the experiences we know exist and telling the outside world about it is where we really need to go.
Yeah, and I think that would be number one from my standpoint, is just let's double and triple and quadruple the effort of outreach, of growth, because this was a tough year for everybody, and the sport's been a little bit hidden from the audience to some extent because of the nature of this, and nobody wanted to leave their house, for goodness sakes, for the last year. So I think really now is the time to strike as people get excited, they get that bug, they want to become fans again. Let's bring them into our sport.
Well, there's no doubt, and Craig, I'll say game 1 of this final was maybe some of the best television production I've seen the MASL put together. I think fans can look forward to more of that on a nationwide basis from all of our teams, because we've seen the value in it, we've seen what it does to our viewership numbers. So we're really pushing up and turning up the dial in terms of our production value to let the world know and get them some stickiness around watching our game, and that's what we want.
Well, for a TV radio guy, that's music to my ears.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you so much. We appreciate all of your efforts and contributions to the MASL and to get to the end of this amazing season. You deserve congratulations for us just to be here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Josh Schaub is the commissioner of the MASL. My name's Craig Elston. When we come back, we'll bring you the highlights from the first half. We'll get you ready for second half action. The Fury have the lead over the Sockers 3-2 in the Ron Newman Cup Finals.
Should have seen this coming. A stampede unleashed 55 years ago, built for freedom, power, and rebellion. And just when you think you know where they're going, they do something unexpected.
Something that moves us all forward.
And holds nothing back.
The all-electric Mustang Mach-E. The newest member of the family.
Every year, cities provide Chaffey College with new students, and in return, we provide them with thousands of graduates. They are our local leaders, pilots, nurses, and more. Chaffey College supports more than 7,800 jobs in the Inland Empire, contributing nearly $600 million to our local economy. Our students are prepared to transfer to four-year universities and are job-ready. Chaffey College has been named one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. Chaffey College, improving lives and communities through education.
Everyone deserves a safe, clean place to call home, where children can grow and thrive. At National Community Renaissance, we are addressing our nation's housing crisis, building in tough neighborhoods and creating communities that support academic achievement, economic mobility, and improved health. With an integrated team of professionals, National Corps is transforming lives and communities in California, Florida, Texas, and Arkansas. To learn more, visit nationalcorps.org.
Dr. Fantasia has been serving the Ontario community since 1984. Dr. Fantasia and his clinical staff are the official chiropractors of the Ontario Fury. Their expertise is in the treatment of spinal, joint, and muscle conditions associated with sports injuries, auto accidents, and slips and falls. His clinic, United Chiropractic Health Center, provides chiropractic, acupuncture, oriental medicine, therapeutic and relaxation massage therapy, and non-surgical spinal decompression for the treatment of herniated slip discs. Dr. Fantasia has helped thousands to achieve healthy, pain-free lives. Most health insurance plans are accepted. Find us at drfantasia.com. That's drfantasia.com, or call us at 909-984-2765.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Halftime winding down. Ontario Fury with a 3-2 lead over the San Diego Sockers. This is game 2 of a best-of-3 series. The Sockers and the Fury in the Ron Newman Cup Finals. San Diego took game 1 on Friday night, 7-3. And should the Fury hold this lead across the final buzzer, or extend it, of course, then that means that we'll have a break of about a half an hour at the end of this one, and then we'll be right back with a 15-minute Game 3, a mini game. Of course, that would be as exciting as it comes. Now, the San Diego Sockers don't want anything to do with that. They would like to see a victory in the second half on the scoreline and a victory in Game 2, and they would lift the Ron Newman Cup. Jonathan Reimer here with me, as well as Christian Philemon as well. And Philly, when we think about those first half highlights, talk about a tale of two quarters. The Sockers got it started early, and then it was all Fury from there.
They did, and we're looking at that replay. A fantastic goal by Leo de Oliveira starting things off for the San Diego Sockers. You're looking, Clayson DeLima trying to make that save, and we have Brandon Escoto with the ball here passing it off, and there was a fantastic goal going through Clayson DeLima, and we're seeing a replication of what happened the previous night. The San Diego Sockers going up in the game. But it was the Ontario Fury that valiantly fought back in the final minutes of that first quarter and the second quarter. You're seeing Frank Tayu making his presence felt. Frank Tayu leading the team in scoring over the course of the playoffs. A banger of a goal past William Vanzella. And we're looking at another replay, putting Mitchell Cardenas in his back pocket. Shot to the upper right hand of the corner. Vanzella didn't have a shot at stopping that. The Fury are making it a ball game. And look, yes, the Ontario Fury coming in, they needed to play 75 minutes of good football in order to make a win. The San Diego Sockers want to play less. But as far as an MASL fan is concerned, as far as a neutral party, the season is coming to an ending. We want to see the best version of this final that we possibly can.
Your first half highlights from this one. Really, Ontario dominated the first half, though. You look at those opening 7 minutes where San Diego goes up 2-0. That was a little bit of helter-skelter action. But right now, let's go down to the field because head coach Phil Salvaggi was standing by with Melissa May with his thoughts.
Coach Ortiz, the Sockers offense kind of cooled out going into the half. What did you tell your team before coming on the pitch to start the second half?
Well, we just need to pick up the intensity. We think we will focus on keeping the ball when we have it, transitions to be better, and hopefully get a rhythm so our forward can get the ball and start creating more chances offensively.
How important is it having veteran defender Cesar Serta back in the lineup?
I mean, obviously he's a big impact there, right? He's come from an injury, so his leadership on the back, probably in the second half, hopefully we'll step it up a little bit more because we're expecting to play more minutes in the second half.
Obviously, this is the biggest game of the MASL season. What would it mean to potentially bring the cup back to San Diego?
Well, it's everything. It's everything we work for. It's everything that we put on our hearts and souls into it. So, I mean, we still have a game to play, and then we'll do our best to win it and bring it back to San Diego.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Back to you in the booth.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Of course, with assistant coach Renee Ortiz right there. If you're a fan of either one of these teams, go ahead, grab your smartphone right now, stick it up on whether you're watching on the computer or you've got it played up to the big screen in your house. The QR codes for Nicky Sports, as well as Ontario's online store and the San Diego Soccer's online store. So grab that phone, click that QR code right there for your San Diego Soccer's online merchandise store for the Ontario Fury. And for Nicky Sports. And the horn has sounded, and we are underway with the third quarter. A PA announcer getting fired up downstairs. I think that was in your feed. It was certainly in our ears. Everyone getting excited. Now remember, it's 4v4 for the next 53 seconds, and then the Fury will have a quick power play.
PA announcer John Spire there getting the teams riled up and the fans back into the action here. We've said it before, we'll say it again. We are so blessed once again to have a return to folks in the stadium here in California.
It's Pino having it taken away, but Leo is stepping up on this loose ball. Bumped from behind by Cisse, no whistle on that one. Fury are very happy to hold the ball right now because in 25 seconds they'll have a power play of 48 seconds of length. Here's Frank Tayu, though. He'd just love to score on his own. Sends it into the corner for Robert Palmer. Cardenas is on him. D on D right there. Back to DeLima. And again, the reason for this is the time on the clock. In 10 seconds, it's an Ontario power play. Jeff Hughes is just going to wait for that time to expire. He's going to back up to his yellow line and let the time leak off. And when Gonsalves comes on, he's coming on into the power play right now. 48 seconds of Ontario man advantage, trying to build on their 3-2 lead. Big inflection point in this match. Jeff Hughes. Topete comes out now with De Leon and Tayu. George De Leon off the wall, looking for the header. Put back into the blender and kicked out by Christian Gutierrez. 25 seconds on the power play. It is De Leon. Stop and go on the mid wall. Back to Hughes. Back to De Leon. Off the wall, kicked out by Cardenas. Hughes tries to take a swing. Gonsalves does. Off the head of Ruiz, then off the head of Vanzella. 10 seconds on the power play. Pollo trying to nudge it forward. Pinballed inadvertently by his teammate. Gutierrez back to the Fury in 3 seconds out of the box to Voy Morgan. He's out, and now back to even strength as he runs into the play. Gonsalves, though, wants to keep the pressure on to Frank Tayu. The Fury have the last 3 goals in this game and a 3-2 lead. The Sockers led 2-0, 6 minutes, 6 seconds into the first quarter. It has been all Ontario ever since. Sockers with barely a whisper in this game since the first quarter.
Ontario outshooting the Sockers 7-3 in both of the first quarters for a combined 14-6 advantage in shots.
Tayu keeps it alive. Big save, Vanzella. Denies Gonsalves, and his biggest save so far, William Vanzella.
Just looking at that replay once again, Frank Tayu going around. There's a shot. William the Wall Vanzella thwarting that effort.
Topete whistled it off the goal wall. Again, a ball just a foot ahead of the Sockers, and that's truly been the case all night long. Ball's just been a foot ahead of the club. They've been unable to establish any type of rhythm, any type of possession. And really, we're talking about 23 minutes straight of dominant Ontario Fury action in this game. Uzi Taiyu now holding for the Fury. Does bear reminding to folks who might be checking in just for the finals that the Fury are the favorites in this matchup. They're the number 2 seed. The Sockers were the number 5 seed. The Fury had 4 first-team All-MASL players, 4 major award winners. The Sockers had none of that. The Fury were decorated, feted, and picked by every single person in the league to win this final. The Sockers, however, did win Game 1 7-3. Shocking fans of indoor soccer who thought Ontario might roll through San Diego in low defensive scoring games. Now much more of what I think much of the nation expected to see. Ontario in control.
Still just a 1-goal lead here with 11:30 left.
Could be 2 now. Stinson, a kick save by Venzela.
You got to tip your hats off to the San Diego Sockers. The regular season was what it was. Looking at that replay again, there's a shot. Vanzella looking really good. The Sockers have been undefeated since the final game of the regular season, where they beat the Dallas Sidekicks 9-4. They have looked fantastic over the course of the past couple of weeks.
And now Ontario gets a golden opportunity to double their lead as that ball whistled off the head of Pino out of bounds, a defensive clearance, and the best free kick available in the sport, top of the arc. Stinson could put this in himself when Vela is organizing his wall. But as Pacheco stepped over this time, Gonçalves takes it and he puts it right into the wall. And meanwhile, that into the wall took a little bit more out of Gerardo Jurado than he wanted, right to the solar plexus.
That ball clearly had a bit more mustard on it than he was anticipating.
Well, he pointed to the stomach. If you've ever had the wind knocked out of you, that's exactly what just happened to Gerardo Jurado. He's going to need a minute or so, and then he'll probably be okay. But I got to say, guys, from the standpoint of the Fury, what an impressive start to this quarter. I mean, it's almost exactly what you'd want. I think maybe the goal on the power play would have been the ultimate, but keeping that momentum rolling.
One thing that the Fury have been able to do is to keep the ball in the offensive half of the field, and we would like to give a shout out to the folks at Element, proud sponsor of the Ontario Fury. We appreciate their continued support of the indoor game here in the greater Los Angeles area, and of course everyone in the Inland Empire. Happy to be back in the stadium, and thank you to the kind folks at Element for helping make that happen.
It'll be a restart for Ontario from in front of the officials' box. The whistles of Ryan Sigich and Kyle Trimble have been maybe the most often heard thing at Toyota Arena today.
Looks like a bit of a warning there issued to Salvaggio on the bench for the Sockers. No flag.
Mansoret in the corner has an assist on the go-ahead goal. Battling through a double team. Back heel try into the middle, and that would have been glorious. However, Farber read it, and now look here. It's Gutierrez. Can he keep the counterattack on? Christian Gutierrez. Gonçalves steps in. Brilliantly done. Cardenas tries to take it right back, and another run where the Sockers never had possession.
Look
Here
at
it
the
comes.
speed of
Mansoret off the wall, looking for a trail runner. Stinson gathers. Justin Stinson on the burst to the right foot. Stops and holds. He'll play it back out to Petty, lines it up. Farber was there to deny a back post pass. Again, trying to feed Gutierrez for the counterattack, but he's 1v3. He's going to have to hold it up. And through the legs of Poyo, but Escoto comes out to rescue the ball. For the first time in the half, the Sockers have the ball on their foot.
The speed of Mansoret on that attack really on display. First time we've got to see the Londoner leg it out, and my goodness, did he have himself some wheels there.
William Vanzella. Long ball forward. Sockers beaten on a long ball forward once again. It's been all Fury on those plays all game. By contrast, every long entry to Frank Taiyu has reached its target. And I do believe the Fury have had a great performance so far today. Kaiser Permanente San Diego is the proud presenting sponsor of the San Diego Sockers in 2021 and beyond. They wear the KP logo with pride on their chest. Go to kpthrive.com. Marcio Leite. 9:11 left in a scoreless so far third quarter. Ontario 3, San Diego 2. That was our halftime score. Sockers led 2-1 at the end of the first quarter. It was a 2-0 Fury second quarter. And And back to William Van Zella with under 9 to go now in the third. Escoto let the ball do the work. Hughes went for a steal, and now it's 3v3 down the floor. Escoto with another avoidance of a steal. Now it's Childs. Shot to the back post. Cardenas dribbles back to the middle. Childs tried to get it. Uzi Tayu took it away. Sockers complaining to Trimble in the corner. They need to keep their eye on the pelota.
Gonzalez not happy there with the lack of a whistle.
Leite to Van Zella. That ball completely missed its target. But Leo rescues it as a result, cuts it for a moment. Cardenas was open. His shot blocked by Tayu, who then screams at Craig Childs for blocking Cardenas' shot.
Big block by Uzi Tayu, the veteran on the Ontario Fury.
De Oliveira trying to catch up to this running ball. Skips around Palmer, but it's loose to Lima then. Puts it into hot water. Chipped by Pacheco. Now it's Alvarado. Jumping in is Poyo. Won it away for a moment. Spinning. Mansoret is going to be able to take that ball for the Ontario Fury. Under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Robert Palmer. Tayu says, hang on. I'm getting into position. Now they're going to go try and find him. Gonsalves, and guess what? Who's going to get the ball? Frank Tayu. Tayu's out hustling every soccer all game long. Pino blocks that shot out of play. And we've got the officials timeout. A great start to the third. The Fury continuing their furious attack in pursuit of equalizing this series.
And with that, we'll head to a break. Fury still lead 3-2 in these 2021 Ron Newman Cup finals.
Should have seen this coming. A stampede unleashed 55 years ago, built for freedom, power, and rebellion. And just when you think you know where they're going, they do something unexpected. Something that moves us all forward and holds nothing back. The all-electric Mustang Mach-E, the newest member of the family.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Dr. Fantasia has been serving the Ontario community since 1984. Dr. Fantasia and his clinical staff are the official chiropractors of the Ontario Fury. Their expertise is in the treatment of spinal, joint, and muscle conditions associated with sports injuries, auto accidents, and slips and falls. His clinic, United Chiropractic Health Center, provides chiropractic, acupuncture, oriental medicine, therapeutic and relaxation massage therapy, and non-surgical spinal decompression for the treatment of herniated slip discs. Dr. Fantasia has helped thousands to achieve healthy, pain-free lives. Most health insurance plans are accepted. Find us at drfantasia.com. That's drfantasia.com, or call us at 909-984-2765.
7:23 to play in the third quarter. The Ontario Fury leading the San Diego Sockers 3-2. Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. Sockers lead the series 1-0. Christian Gutierrez off the restart. Forward Brian Farber, and a blind attempt to pass to empty space. No teammate was there. Fury recover the ball. Same kind of idea, but Frank Tayu had a teammate there for his blind pass, Nestor Hernandez. And now, once again, Ontario in possession. Push by Serta. That's a foul. Easy call. Free kick for the Fury. Well, Simpson kind of tripped. I got to be honest with you. Now that we watch it from the low angle, I think that's a generous call. And a goal! And a generous call becomes maybe a mini game later as Johnny Tepete, the former Socker, continues Ontario's illustrious dominance of the San Diego Sockers. It's 4-2. They're running away.
Looking at that replay, it was a fantastic kick from the yellow line. Johnny Topete not scoring any goals over the course of the regular season, just having himself one assist, but a very, very big goal into this matchup, putting the Ontario Fury up by another goal. 7 minutes and 2 seconds left to go within this third quarter. It has been all Fury thus far.
All Fury.
Love that quick start, catching the keeper, still setting his wall. Keeper was leaning against one post, he shot to the other, and the Fury are up on top here. It is 4-2 with 6.5 minutes left here in the third quarter.
And the Sockers, big hit on Felipe Gonzalez right there in between the two benches. He went down in a heap. I'll tell you what, the shots are now 19-7 in favor of the Fury. And there's just absolutely no question. The Sockers had a good start, but Ontario, not just the better team, they've been the dominant team in this game. Sockers are lucky they let them back out on the floor to start the third quarter. It's been that much of an Ontario game, and I think at this point it does bear reminding, guys, that the Ontario Fury let their number one player, their playoff leading scorer, go in between games 1 and 2. They did so for team unity. They did so what they said was a unanimous team decision, and the Ontario Fury are probably playing 3 times better than they did on Friday night. Right?
As the child of multiple school teachers, I would be remiss if I did not point out that the word team does not contain the letter I.
Ooh, I learned that early. Cisse back out, Gonsalves, and now De Leon with Tayo on the back door. De Leon, stop and start. De Leon trying to find space. Back to Cisse, back to Stinson. Cardenas trying to jump that play, and he does. Got the ball away for a moment, but Leo's never not had defenders all over him. Got out of a double team. Look at this. Marcio Leite with runners off the wall. The try by Leo. Couldn't get his foot or head on the right position for that ball.
Just couldn't swing that right leg over the top of the ball and get it on frame. So close from San Diego to making this a 1-goal game. But as it stands, the Fury's still up by 2.
Tayu with under 6 to play in the third quarter. Remember, when the Fury finish this out, unless San Diego can come back, it'll be a 30-minute break. It'll be the most important 30 minutes in the history of the San Diego Sockers modern franchise. But there is time left, 20 minutes left. Sockers, though, are averaging about 2 minutes of position per 12 minutes of play. So you might look at it as the Sockers have just a few minutes left in this game to try and score. Here's Tayu to Topete. Back to DeLima. Tayu's going to try and head this on goal. Pino just used the top part of the high glass. Uzi to Frank, to the goal. Shot saved by Vinzella.
What a save. What a save that was to keep this at a manageable distance for San Diego.
If you like the movie Braveheart, there's a William Wallace. If you like indoor soccer, there's William the Wall Vanzella.
Boyo, Morgan has been silent since the early assist. Has 4 fouls as well. Sockers have to be very limited in how they utilize him. The remainder of the game, 2 more fouls, he'd be ejected. And unable to, oh, no, pardon me, I take that back. We learned that with Johnny Topete. Available to play in game 3. Urado. Off the ball, knocked down, but the foul called. And now we'll have a free kick for San Diego from the corner.
Big opportunity here for San Diego's. It's getting a bit chippy down there in the corner. Just a foul here, though.
Both forwards on the floor for the Sockers. Childs to get on the front end of this, and maybe Morgan on the receiving end. That's the try. Kicked the wrong way, but by a Fury. And that's going to be a corner kick. Childs wanted that there was possession there, which would have led to top of the arc. And in fact, they'll just say deflected on the shot, and they'll put it on the wall there. So no longer really an attacking free kick. Leite trying to dance on Jeff Hughes. Turns and shoots well wide. Cardenas well high. And just like that, the ball back to the Fury.
Good to see San Diego getting some sustained pressure there, getting back on the offensive end. That's got to be a welcome sight for Phil Salvaggio.
It's DeLima on the throw out. We'd like to thank Soccer Sam's soccer stimulus support. As Tayu, look out. Before we talk about Soccer Sam, here's a goal potentially. Pino takes it away from Tayu after Vanzella swatted the initial attempt. And then Trimble gets in and says, no, you gave him a little hug, Stinson. That's a foul.
Well, I'm sure all the fans out there in Facebook land would love to give Soccer Sam a hug of their own for providing us these games for free. I tell you, those cannoli donuts look pretty darn good. I might have to hop on the internet and order some myself. But our sincerest thanks to the man who has allowed us to watch free of charge this finals action here from Toyota Arena in Ontario, California.
I can tell you firsthand, those cannoli donuts are amazing. I've got a half a dozen in my fridge. So, Jonathan, Craig, you're more than welcome to come over after this game to sample them all.
Morgan in front of the Fury bench. Here comes that physical double team, and the ball misses both of its attempts and goes all the way to Vanzella. And there's 3:20 left in the third quarter. Another dominant quarter for Ontario. It is Morgan trying to get loose. Serta back to Cardenas. Vanzella now and Serta. San Diego does have the ball. That's a difference between the last two quarters, where they've mostly been defending.
Ontario with their third line at the moment, giving some of those starters a rest. As long as San Diego keeps cycling the ball in their own backfield here, that's given Ontario more of a chance to take a breather. So despite having possession, maybe not what San Diego wants here.
That went into the official's box, but they say it hit the top of the boards before it went in. No defensive clearance. 2.5 left in the quarter. Pino draws a crowd. Back to Leo. Booted out of there by Mansoret, but Vanzella's waiting. Delete.
We mentioned it earlier, DeLima a much better distributor with his hands than feet. Nearly a mistake there.
Soccer's first 2 shots scored. And since then, they've only had 5 shots. Soccer's, and I know some people are probably out there listening going, Craig, you are so talking up the Fury. The score's 4-2. What are you talking about? In terms of dominance of play, the score is like 14-2 Fury right now. But it's 4-2 on the scoreboard.
And as we know in this game, it is still anybody's game.
Oh, come on, Gonsalves. You cannot do that.
That's the second time we've seen him go in with a really strong challenge today. Lucky to avoid a card once again.
Leo and the Sockers, if they got one here, it would change the game a bit. Leite tries right away on a toe poke, and DeLima was on it. There's that 8th shot, for San Diego for the entire game. Being outshot 21-8. Fury's second try, and was that Palmer? Either Palmer or I think Palmer went flying and got a piece of that.
It looks like both of them might have had a touch on that, but either way, some excellent keeping and defending from a combination of Keeper of the Year and Defender of the Year there.
Leite gets a step on Hughes, comes in, shoots, kick, save to Lima. Childs tips it in the air. Urado trying to bring it down, but it rolled down his leg. And Topete, a hero for Ontario tonight, digs it out. 45 seconds left to play in the quarter. Line change for Ontario, but San Diego not positioned to take advantage. Stinson aggressive on the step-in to challenge Leo, who needs to come off for Escoto. 35 seconds left in the quarter. Turning shot, Pollo. DeLima guarded the near post. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Cardenas is going to try and dig this one out of the back zone. You see the replay on the right of that big save by DeLima. Live action on the left. Now back to full screen. It's 10 seconds. It's Leite with Stinson on him. Stinson! Great slide tackle of the ball. Chance for a dagger. 5 seconds and 3. Stinson puts it to the corner. No chance for Flora, and the horn sounds. But the Sockers have been shut out for 39 straight minutes by the Ontario Fury. Juan Tepete's goal doubles the lead at 7:58, and Ontario can feel it. They're 15 minutes away from forcing a mini game to determine the Ron Newman Cup Finals champion. The Sockers will have to, Jonathan, become, honestly, an entirely different team in the fourth quarter.
Well, we don't go anywhere because the action has been wall-to-wall as we have seen the Sockers go in at it there at the end of the third. And we will be back for you with the last 2 minutes of action after this from the Ron Newman Finals.
If your child wants to play soccer at the next level, Soccer Sam is here to help. Soccer Sam's soccer stimulus support can financially assist families in need to help pay for soccer clubs or camps. Email your story to soccersam@soccersam.com for consideration. Don't let financial hardship deter soccer development. Tell us why you are a deserving candidate for the Soccer Sam Soccer Stimulus Support. Email soccersam@soccersam.com today. Feel the kick.
Galifino Tequila. Treat yourself to the Philippines in life.
Pulling us out, guys. Fourth quarter, we're hearing the PA announcer in our ears screaming to exhort the crowd.
John Spire
trying
doing
to
his
get
best cheerleading out there to try and get this crowd fired up as we get ready for the fourth quarter. My goodness, John is certainly trying to do his best to get the Fury faithful here in the stands to wake up a little bit. You can tell the fans are a bit out of practice today, boys.
Rusty perhaps, but the seventh man is loud. And again, it is so nice to see fans in the arena. Whether you're a Fury fan, whether you're a Sockers fan, you are welcome in Toyota Arena. It is fantastic feeling the vibe, feeling the energy from everybody in this arena. Thank you for coming out to Toyota Arena. And again, a big thank you to all of those that are watching on Facebook Live, free, courtesy of Soccer Sam.
That's Philly. You heard Jonathan Reimer. I'm Craig Elston. 15 minutes now for the Ontario Fury to stake Game 3. The Sockers need an effort we haven't seen all day to try and pull out the championship in Game 2. Dominance for Ontario, outshooting San Diego 7-4 in the third quarter. 21-10 is the overall shot count. And remember, San Diego scored on their first two shots, and since then it has been all Ontario.
Well, to San Diego's credit, they were outshot 7-3 in the first, 7-3 in the second, so 7-4 in the third might be progress for them.
Well, we'll see. Right now, Fury looking great. Here's Frank Taillou looking for his fifth of the game, the game's fifth, and that's a foul on Pino. And now a terrific chance for Ontario to get that fifth. Taillou has two, Jorge Pacheco and Juan Tepete, a newly unified Fury team playing with a unified sense of purpose that was not there on Friday. They made a major, really league-shaking roster decision in between games, and it looks like it was the best decision in the franchise's history. Tepete across. Gonçalves is going to shoot, and Tepete, and it's going to go to Taillou for the hat trick. The Ontario Fury are headed to a mini game, folks. 5-2 the score. Fury's dominance continues in Ontario.
Big Frank loves it. The seventh man loves it. Toyota Arena loves it. Let's look at the replay off of the restart. We have Frank on that ball, and it's Johnny Topete passing that ball over to Thiago Gonçalves. Frank Taillou sneaking into the backside, punching into the back of the net, pulverizing the polyurethane that net is made out of. The Ontario Fury are up 5-2, 14:23 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's still a ball game, folks. It's the 15, hopefully before the 15.
14-23 until the minigame.
Christian Gutierrez absolutely sleeping there in his defensive opportunities.
Yep.
As he came off the wall flat-footed. Frank sneaks in behind him, and you cannot leave that big man defenseless at the back post. Piece of cake for the tap in there for the big man to get his hat trick.
The Fury's best defensive efforts of the year have come against San Diego. They held the Sockers to just 1 goal in 60 minutes in Florida. They shut out the Sockers for 3 straight quarters here in March. This dribbler off the wall. It's going to come back to Leo, and then a great save by DeLima.
DeLima Delight once again making a fantastic save on the San Diego Sockers.
Look at the Brazilian pounding his chest. He knows that was a huge moment for his Fury.
Foul is called on Flora there, and Leo wants the quick restart, and he gets it over to Serta. DeLima's big save, continuing the shutout streak of over 40 minutes now for Ontario. And here's the next foul, and that's Tepete. Now here's a good scoring chance for San Diego. And it's Escoto, and he flubs the chance, thinking there was a man behind him that there was not. And this has been the game the Sockers have played. They went from the best game of the season to one of their worst. And that's just being honest up here in the 300 level.
And you could say the opposite for the Fury, arguably playing one of their worst games of the season on Friday. I was speaking to a member of the Fury faithful, Mr. Joseph Sacker, after Friday's game. Joseph and his father, of course, legends. Ooh, as the shot comes into DeLima there. Legends in the soccer scene here in Southern California. And he was telling me it wasn't until the last 30 seconds of Friday's game that he saw a Fury team he recognized for the passion and energy, as once again DeLima showing that his distribution with the feet, certainly something he needs to work on as that ball goes into the Sockers bench.
Now, I'm going to call it, guys. This is a must score for San Diego. They will not win this or tie this game if they don't convert this free kick. It's Leo, and he scores it! And the Sockers can see a glimpse of light as the 40-plus minute shutout streak ends, and it's 5-3.
You called it, Mr. Elston. The San Diego Sockers needed to get themselves on the board, and this was the opportunity in which they had done so off of the restart. Fantastic goal, 5-3 right now, 13 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Don't go anywhere, folks. This game is far from over.
5 holds the keeper there to bring it back to within a 2-goal game. Still 13 minutes left to play. It is up in the air at this point as San Diego find themselves back on the score sheet.
Cisse to DeLima. That was a DeLima mistake that wound up in the back of his net. Unforced error on that free kick allowed. Cisse back to Gonçalves, and now the Fury want to find that possession that they had for most of the last 40 minutes. Still very much in control, 2-goal lead. 12:45 to play. Gonçalves. Stinson. But the crowd that came up from San Diego to support the Sockers is being heard for the first time since the first quarter. Kicked out by Pino, a spinner in the air. Funny backspin on that ball. Both Cerda and Gonçalves jumped for it and neither got it. And now Cisse punts it to the middle. Pollo and Farber both run on the same ball and lose it. Tayu rescues it, but the foul on Frank in the corner.
As we see a replay of that foul down here in the corner, both go for the ball, and Frank just a bit strong with the leg coming in there. Whistled for the foul, San Diego ball.
Forward looking for Morgan. Brought the ball down, crossed it to Jurado. Tried to line up a shot, and Tepete blocked that easy peasy. Loose ball, Morgan nudges it. Then hard off of Pino, who held his hand to his chest to deny a handball claim. De Abreu not happy, watching on the bench for the Fury. 11:50 to play. It's Morgan flipping. Cardenas coming in. Back over to Pollo.
Your heart has to go out to Maicon De Abreu. MCL tear, might even miss a portion of next season as well, too. Terrible for the Fury's leading scorer throughout the course of the regular season as that ball skips across the box and out. Mansoret maintains control and presses forward with that brilliant speed of his.
Here he comes across two lines, shooting wide of the net. The play on the other side saw Leite try to find the head of Jurado and have it just go about a foot too high. As Jonathan and Philly both mentioned, time aplenty for sure. Pollo, good pass. Cardenas, Stinson, terrific recovery. A better play to come back and win it away clean. And Justin Stinson playing outstanding tonight, especially on the defensive end. Forward Pacheco, he's got a goal. He's got a goal. He steps in and Leite steals it away. Escoto. Childs duffed the ball for a moment. Alvarado came flying in with the feet up, and the Sockers were looking from Sigic for a slide tackle whistle and didn't get it. Then Escoto gets nudged, and the ball comes through to De Lima.
You have to say, as important as Big Frank has been on this game and certainly worthy of honors, Stinson might be the second man in that honorable mention today. Ooh.
And we got a yellow card on the Sockers bench. We knew they'd been warned. See, I mean, right there, Leite just stumbled on the football. I don't know that's what they're upset about, but obviously mad about something, and it's a yellow on the bench, and that means the Sockers can designate a field player to serve it unless and until it was actually Felipe Gonzalez, not the bench.
You know, he came out earlier and was hobbling when he came off.
You're right.
And we saw Paul Savage attending to him. It looks like he's going to go serve as he is still limping as he heads across the pitch right now.
Maicon de Abreu watching from the bench. You know, we talked about Felipe Gonzalez's injuries, Maicon de Abreu with that bad injury. And I think that, honestly, Trimble, the official right there, just told Felipe he's not well enough to go into the box. So the Sockers have to have Craig Childs serve that penalty as Maicon looks on, hoping to be lifting a cup tonight. He's on his way right now. Leo to Cristian Gutierrez, over to Santana. Santana in on the left wing. Now Leo has 2 goals tonight, 3 in the finals. Gutierrez off the wall, Leo. Leo back to the middle. Leo's beautiful, but then Tayu steps in from behind and steals it away. Frank Tayu pops this ball in the air that Escoto was able to bring down. Under 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. A Fury 5-goal run interrupted by Leonardo de Oliveira from Brandon Escoto on a set piece at 1:49. Sockers trying to build some kind of momentum. Flora, meanwhile, look out! It's a gift! It's a horrid gift!
An absolute howler from De Lima as the ball just bumbles into the back of his own net. My goodness.
That was without a doubt a gimme. Looking at that replay once again, Clayson just overlooking the ball, letting it go right between his hands and his legs. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-goal game. You see the pass by Escoto. There's a deflection.
Yeah, he'll get the goal because it was his ball that got bonked into the net, but that's just
You have to wonder
amazing.
if that last mistake by De Lima that led to the 3rd soccer goal is in his head. Now it is a 1-goal game, and my goodness, here we go. 9 minutes, 23 seconds left. Fury 5, Sockers 4.
You wanted action? You wanted drama? Here it is, folks. Game 2 of the MASL Finals. All kinds of things going on. Goals, slip-ups, fantastic efforts, great defense. 5-4, 9:18 left to go. Far from over.
An own goal of really the most diabolical type.
Definitely not going to be a highlight reel that Clayson is going to want to see at any point in time.
And that lifts the spirits of the visitors. Now just 1 goal away. 2 straight in the quarter. The arena has a slightly different feel now after that flub. Loose in the corner though, look out, it can change just so fast, but Venzela found the ball run to him as De Leon is down in the corner. Sockers are moving right now with a player behind the play, but Santana maybe didn't know that. His team was in a line change. Jurado, and now because of that, the whistle sounds.
Let's take a look here.
We're watching 17, De Leon, as he goes into the corner. And he felt like he got an elbow from behind. That was his thought.
He seems to be moving well. He's heading back to the bench.
Shout out to Bill Ito, the athletic trainer of the Ontario Fury. Boy, those athletic trainers, man, underpaid and underappreciated, except for the men who they take care of. Vanzella looking for Morgan. Morgan's got this turn. Morgan gets the kick and a save by De Lima. Ball squirted loose. Jurado said, hey, I'm going to wait for it. No, sir. We've got a whistle. We've got a blue card. We've got a penalty on the Fury, and I saw it. Uzi Tayu, when Morgan turned, he was last man in. This could even be a shootout, depending on how Ryan Sigich decides to officiate it.
Huge call with 8 minutes left. Advantage San Diego. My goodness, the Fury just can't seem to stop making the gaffes to keep themselves in this game. What a turnaround this would be for San Diego.
So it will not be a shootout, but Uzi is in the box for the next 2 minutes, and the Sockers go on a power play, which begins with 8:31 left in the fourth quarter. It'll count either to 6:31 remaining or to a fifth Sockers goal, which could be an equalizer.
This is their opportunity to strike. 44% on the penalty kill for the Ontario Fury. It's been something that's been plaguing him over the course of the regular season and the playoffs. The Sockers can strike now and tie this game.
Starts with a free kick, and it's Escoto, and he scores! And just like that, the San Diego Sockers are level at 5, and the San Diego fans in Toyota Arena are electric.
Let's look at the replay again off of the restart. Leite passing that ball off. A great shot. I believe it was Escoto who scored that. And now we've got a different ball game. A game in which it was dominated by the Ontario Fury. But now the Sockers have tied it with 8 minutes and 29 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. They needed that. They took advantage of the Ontario Fury, something which the Ontario Fury have not been good at all season, which is stopping that penalty kill. And now we have a tie ball game.
Escoto was wide open on that start to the power play. My goodness, the Fury have let 3-goal leads slip away, and there is still 8 minutes, 29 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. Whew. My goodness, this is some action tonight, gentlemen.
It's getting loud in here, and again, shout out to the San Diego Sockers fans who made that journey up the interstate to Toyota Arena. We appreciate you. We appreciate the noise. We appreciate all of the fans in Toyota Arena tonight.
8:29, we are in the officials' timeout. Let's take a very quick break. We come back and go to the stretch. 5-5 tie in game 2.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front. Plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
5-5 tie, 8.5 left in regulation, fourth quarter. Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. A Sockers win brings the Cup to San Diego. A Fury win brings us to a 15-minute mini game, Game 3, 1/2 hour after the final horn.
First 3.5 quarters of this game mean absolutely nothing. We've got a brand new ball game with 8 minutes left to go.
And Christian Gutierrez, who has been the Sockers' fourth quarter hero and fifth quarter hero throughout these playoffs, trying to run down that loose ball. Good step through by Palmer. Pollo Ruiz then comes from behind and steals it away for San Diego. Dumped into a vacated corner, and it took a friendly hop for Ontario right on over and back down. So that last timeout was a Fury timeout. This timeout is the officials' timeout. And as such, let's take it with them because, folks, I think each one of us could deserve maybe a cold, refreshing beverage. Let's take a break. We're back. 5-5 tie, fourth quarter on Facebook.
Should have seen this coming. A stampede unleashed 55 years ago, built for freedom, power, and rebellion. And just when you think you know where they're going, they do something unexpected.
Something that moves us all forward.
And holds nothing back.
The all-electric Mustang Mach-E. The newest member of the family.
If your child wants to play soccer at the next level, Soccer Sam is here to help. Soccer Sam's soccer stimulus support can financially assist families in need to help pay for soccer clubs or camps. Email your story to soccersam@soccersam.com for consideration. Don't let financial hardship deter soccer development. Tell us why you are a deserving candidate for the Soccer Sam soccer stimulus support. Email soccersam@soccersam.com today. Feel the kick.
We thank Calafino, but we're back to live action. 7 3/4 minutes left and running downward. 5-5 tie in Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. Craig Elston, Christian Philly Filliman, and Jonathan Reimer. Melissa May and Panda Filliman down on the floor. Stinson, great step in by Pino, but now to Pente! Just rings the left post.
Just a bit outside with that one from Topete. My goodness.
Harnessing your inner Bob Euchre on that. That was awfully close.
De Leon now. Left foot roller for Vanzella to gobble up.
Philly, we might need your wife to come up here and bring a defibrillator with her before the end of this game.
Morgan, well done with the chest to bring that one across as we thank Element Ontario, proud sponsor of the Ontario Fury, for their support. We've got a whistle away and a foul on the Fury. We also thank Kaiser Permanente San Diego, the proud presenting sponsor of the Sockers in 2021. Free kick coming over from between the two penalty boxes. Craig Giles serving that bench minor, that bench yellow, to Vanzella. Chipped forward for Morgan. Cuts it looking for Cardenas, trying to step on the loose ball now. Tayu, Uzi, forward, Mansouré, the speed. Abdul Mansouré! Just off the wall! For a kid who's playing in his first ever playoff game.
Heck of a shot by the young rookie. This moment is clearly not big or intimidates him. Looking at that replay once again. Looking at the shot. Great save. Great situation. You got to love Abdul Mansouré, making himself a part of this game, hustling, trying to get his minutes.
Here's Stinson. And who's going to get that foul? It's Leite. And now a free kick and a good one for Ontario.
Looks like hands just came a little high here. Ooh, shot to the gut there. Left hook to the gut.
I know how that feels.
Frank Tayu just told Thiago what he wants this play to be. Remember, the Fury just scored on their last set piece to take a 5-2 lead. Gonsalves cuts it middle. Hughes chipped away by Cardenas. Open space. De Lima's just going to run up on it. He punts it very high in the air. And Stinson got his chest on it. Well done by Justin Stinson. Here comes the kid. Leite stepping inside him. Foul on. What? Thank you very much. Foul definitely on Stinson. And Ryan Tickett just pointed the wrong way. We've all done that occasionally in our lives.
Everybody's entitled to a faux pas here and there. No question on the foul.
It could have been a card. I mean, he shoved him into the boards.
It did not look like that one was going to warrant any speculation.
We heard it, though, all the way up here.
Terrible pass by Leite. Just gave it away. Now, Pino heading it. Look out. In the air. Knocked down. Tayu, now Morgan battling for it away from Topete, but it comes back to Robert Palmer. DeLima up the middle to Nestor Hernandez. There's 5.5 to go in a tie game, fourth quarter. We would go to a golden goal overtime if it's tied after regulation. Robert Palmer. Now Stinson. Here comes Stinson. Stepping and showing. Alvarado, some space. Great block by Farber. Caught the top of the boards. Stayed in play. Came down to Hernandez. Gutierrez tipped it, but right to Nestor Hernandez. Now Tayu. Now Tayu. Now Tayu into the gloves of William Vanzella. We're in the final 5 minutes presented by Calafino Tequila. And right now, a shot of extra añejo sounds pretty nice. 5-5 our score.
Maybe one or two, maybe 3 or 4 after this game.
Here's Urano. That ball was loose and misplaced. Urano had to run it down and track it. Vanzella will try again. Hands all over Tavoy Morgan by Israel Cisse.
I mean, there's no question there. There was an awful lot of contact between Izzy and between Tavoy Morgan. That ball finds its way back to the San Diego Sockers.
Those two boys were slow dancing at the yellow there. You knew the whistle was coming.
Sockers are going to call timeout. Marcio Leite, and now they changed their mind. And it's back to Leite.
Bit of gamesmanship there from San Diego, faking the timeout.
Yeah, Urado thought. Shot, and a one-handed touch by DeLima to put it over.
Big save by the young Brazilian keeper. Looking at that replay once again, Leite's shots. And you have to wonder, with the goal that DeLima let go, you figure that might have messed with his psyche. But he's proven right after that he is a good keeper. And I mean, he's a great keeper. He's the keeper of the year. Great save. His head is still in the game, and the Fury need his head in the game if they're going to go into overtime today. They're going to win, rather.
The right corner, it's coming, it's Escoto. He dribbles it, and Morgan just wide. He had the open net for the moment, and he nestled it wide with the head. Childs is out after that yellow card, served to the bench. 4:08 to go. Escoto, Leo, who's got 2 tonight, against his former team. Leo, the double juke, and he lost it. Great step through. Wonderful by De Leon, better by Escoto to deny the counterattack.
He had that open. That San Diego Sockers defense pulled that effort back. Fantastic defense by San Diego. They would have been off to the races had that not play been made.
Here comes Topete. Sends it forward, and you know Frank's going to get this ball. Tayu.
Yeah, good luck to anyone trying to muscle Frank off a ball.
6'1", 200-plus pounds. That's a big boy.
If you've learned nothing else in tonight's broadcast, hope you've learned how to evaluate target forward play. Because Frank Tayu is showing you exactly what the top level is supposed to look like. Serta trying to burst on a steal there on Pacheco. Under 3.5 to go in regulation. Tayu, a man who knows how to do it. He's got 3 already. To the back post! Just missed. What a brilliant look by Tayu to Pacheco.
Let's see this again as Tayu turns and fires as he's so known to do, and Pacheco just can't get the header on frame. What an opportunity for Ontario to try and take the lead.
Great idea, great setup. The execution just wasn't there.
Vanzella with an aimless punt that DeLima is going to be able to gather. 3:05 to go. Alvarado's going to come off after winning the ball. He's off and Stinson's back on. Palmer under 3 in the fourth. The last 3 goals to San Diego after falling behind 5-2. Mansaray tipped away by Cardenas. Gutierrez trying for the sidewall pass to himself. That last touched by, I believe, Christian. It'll go to Nestor and the Fury. Tayu's back out there. Gonçalves will attempt to get him the ball. This time trying to get through Nestor Hernandez. Gutierrez on it for a moment. Ball came over the head of both Cisse and Escoto. Loose at the yellow line. golfed out of there by Stinson. 2v1. Here it comes. It's Nestor. He shoots. Back post. Tayu will try it again. And running in from behind was Serta to take the ball off his toe.
What an amazing play by Defensive Player of the Year. Almost winner Cesar Cerda, someone who certainly was in the running for that and proved it there.
Tayu. Back heel Gonçalves. Pino got a piece of that twice now. Vinzella has to punt it. He does. Nudged down by Nestor. Under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Topete and Palmer. De Lima and Stinson. 95 on the clock and ticking downward. 90 seconds on the clock. Stinson bursting, spinning, drawing the foul. Free kick coming.
Big opportunity here. Huge moment with less than 90 seconds left in the game.
This could be the one. Topete has a free kick goal tonight. So does Tayu. They've scored 2 of these. Stinson wanders over the ball. Timeout called by Jimmy Nordberg and the Ontario Fury. They know this could be a play to put them in a mini game. Let's take a quick break. We're back with this kick after this.
Whatever you want to do out there, we've got the truck to get it done. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
The San Diego Sockers led 2-0. Ontario scored 5 straight goals between the first and fourth quarters. San Diego got 3 in a row. We're tied 5-5. But now, with 1:26 left in regulation, a dangerous free kick for the Fury to try and grab the lead. It's Hughes. Deflected and skimmed off the outside of Tapete's foot on the rebound. Down into the corner. Guerrero Pino used the high glass there, a nudge by Gonçalves. Back out to Tapete. Fury have the ball. Tapete will shoot. Blocked in front by Cesar Cerda. Long ball off of the boards. Gutierrez trying to knock it down. And it is forward, and with hands up for sure, handball on Frank Tayu. Minute 60 is live at Toyota Arena. 1 minute left to go in regulation. A 5-5 tie.
Jimmy Nordberg is waving those challenge flags like he would have wanted to throw one against that call there, but to no avail. Not a challengeable play as he felt the hand was pushed into the ball.
Leo is being pushed into the ball by pressure of Tapete. And then it came loose. Hughes got the steal. Caromed over to Tapete. There's 50 seconds left to play in regulation. Fury trying to go for the game winner. Uzi Tayu says, where do you want me to go? Where's my brother? It's over here. It's Pacheco. Jorge Pacheco with a goal tonight. Gonçalves with a couple of assists tonight. Tiago's pass blocked by Gutierrez. And coming forward. Uzi, under 30 seconds in regulation. Surely any goal now would be a game winner. Pacheco, and it's Stinson. Stinson, he's got the space. He's got the crossbar! Crossbar down, Tayu over the frame.
Let's look at this replay. My goodness, we came this close to ending this game. A stinger from Stinson, so close, but just off the crossbar.
So close. We were about to call Kaiser Permanente for an EKG reading. Far, far too close. 12.6 seconds left to go. Why not? This is the MASL playoffs, the final. Why not have the drama?
What's the challenge, though?
We have a challenge flag on the field. It looks like Jimmy Nordberg has thrown the flag.
And I assume this has to be on the second play. Maybe looking for a foul on Taiyu? On the Taiyu play, let's watch through. Stinson, here's the shot. Bar down. I mean, obviously not a goal. Watch where it falls. Well out. So obviously not a goal.
Not a goal.
So that's certainly what, yeah, and that's what they were checking, as it turns out. And it's certainly no goal. We could see that from here.
With 12 seconds left in the game, we
Why
know
not,
Jimmy's
though?
getting
Why
the
not,
challenge
exactly.
flag back,
Yeah, why
so
not?
you might as well throw it. That seemed more like semantics than anything else here.
Tend to agree. 12.6 seconds. Both of these teams are very familiar with golden goal overtime in this run of playoffs, but this would be the first against each other.
Well, Ontario was hoping to play more than 4 quarters when they showed up today. This might not have been what they had in mind.
The long throw out by Venzela. 8 seconds in regulation. Cisse 5 seconds. The last chance will go to Ontario. Instead, it's headed away by Pino. Golden goal overtime. Here we come. 60 minutes could not decide Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals. Golden goal overtime lurks. We will play a 10-minute golden goal overtime. Next goal wins. It could be a championship golazo for the Sockers. It would be a mini-game golazo for the Fury. Timeout. We'll be back with the overtime, golden goal overtime kickoff next. Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals is tied 5-5.
Should have seen this coming. A stampede unleashed 55 years ago, built for freedom, power, and rebellion. And just when you think you know where they're going, they do something unexpected.
Something that moves us all forward.
And holds nothing back.
The all-electric Mustang Mach-E. The newest member of the family.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Dr. Fantasia has been serving the Ontario community since 1984. Dr. Fantasia and his clinical staff are the official chiropractors of the Ontario Fury. Their expertise is in the treatment of spinal, joint, and muscle conditions associated with sports injuries, auto accidents, and slips and falls. His clinic, United Chiropractic Health Center, provides chiropractic, acupuncture, oriental medicine, therapeutic and relaxation massage therapy, and non-surgical spinal decompression for the treatment of herniated slip discs. Dr. Fantasia has helped thousands to achieve healthy, pain-free lives. Most health insurance plans are accepted. Find us at drfantasia.com. That's drfantasia.com, or call us at 909-984-2765.
Game 2 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals has gone to golden goal overtime. The stakes are as follows. This score will be 6-5, the final score. If the Sockers get goal 6, they are the champions of the Major Arena Soccer League for 2021. If the Fury get goal 6, we will go back to the locker rooms, have a 30-minute break, and then a 15-minute mini game.
The champagne is on ice. The question is, when will it be popped? Is it going to be sometime in the next half hour, or are we going for quarter 9?
This is the final day of the season for MASL. Let's make it as exciting as possible. That's what both these teams are clearly doing. Toyota Arena is starting to get loud. Overtime, let's go.
Sockers going left to right across your screen. The Fury right to left. Leonardo de Oliveira, his pass goes away to Hughes, and this could be an immediate break. The ball pinballed, and Leo runs it down from outside. Handball on De Leon, which will allow the Sockers to regain possession. Any mistake could be the one that breaks the wall. It's Leo curving in. This one's going to find its way to De Lima, not what he wanted, trying to put it in the corner for Escoto.
When it comes down to this stretch of a match, it's all about who has the energy. Fatigue makes cowards out of anybody. Whoever makes that mistake is going to pay for it. The better conditioned team is going to win this overtime series.
Palmer to Stinson. Berto. Now emerging Pacheco in the middle, looking for Stinson, looking for the goal!
And there we go. Why not? Why not go into the mini game? The Ontario Fury win this game 2 in overtime thanks to a goal by Berto. This man had the first goal of the season for the Ontario Fury. Hopefully this is not the last one. 6-5, you said it earlier. That's going to be the scoring line for this. We're heading to that mini game. Robert Palmer with yet another goal in the postseason. A man with championship experience, having won in 2014 with the Kansas City Comets. Why not? Why not extend the season just a little more, gentlemen?
Never say die. The champagne will have to wait. Whose locker room it heads to? We have one mini game to see. Let's take a look at this goal.
And let's see how it came together, and it was really Pacheco. And look right here, the pinball by Leo. Goals in this sport are random, folks, but the fact is, watch the initial entry pass right here from Pacheco. Neither Socker, Gutierrez nor Leo, could get a clean touch on it. Leo reached in, he pinballed it, but it pinballed right to the man who wanted it. That's Robert Palmer charging down the middle, and Berto has put the Fury into the minigame. So now, let us take a break, gentlemen. We're going to come back. Everybody, go find a beverage, take a walk, do whatever you need to do. 30 minutes from now, we're going to be back with a 15-minute game that will decide this year's Major Arena Soccer League champion. I'd like to thank Mike Cepeda and our entire crew. For Jonathan Reimer, for Christian Philly Filliman, I'm Craig Elston. We are back. Game 3 and the trophy presentation to one of these two teams coming up. The Fury win Game 2 in overtime, 6-5. So long for now. We'll be right back to Toyota Arena.